Alrighty everybody, we are just a couple of hours away from the official debut of Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 5. A lot of fans are very skeptical at this point in time with the Kenobi series because of what happened, especially with Episode 4 of the show and exactly what's about to happen with Episode 5 and 6. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing that a lot of Star Wars fans are really excited about is, of course, other shows out there like Mando Season 3 and 4, the Ahsoka Tano TV show, Tales of the Jedi, which, by the way, comes out the fall of this year. We have a lot of things coming our way by George, John, and Dave Filoni. Unfortunately, the Kenobi series had pretty much nothing to do with both John and Dave, which obviously is a big reason as to why it's probably not as well put together and not as well planned. Now, moving ahead from all of this, we already know that both, of course, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen has been revealing a lot more about the Kenobi TV show on Disney+, a lot of new hidden facts, a lot of new secrets about the show. And one thing I just want to bring up is that with the latest negative reviews coming in for the Kenobi series and all the different ratings on Rotten Tomatoes not doing so well, you know, it really makes me feel bad for Hayden Christensen a lot because it's been so long since we have seen him since 2005 on a Star Wars project that, you know, it's just kind of a shocker to see this happen to Hayden. You know, it's not, of course, against his character, Vader or Anakin specifically, but the fact that he's a part of something that's not really being all that well received by fans. Now, with that being said, however, one good thing about Hayden is that he will be back again for not just the Ahsoka Tano TV show in live action, but also for other live action projects. Both Hayden and Ewan signed multi-show contract deals. So moving on from all of this, alright, Hayden had something very interesting to say. Now, with actor Hayden Christensen getting ready to begin filming the Ahsoka Tano TV series by this July, for his return as both Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader. Eventually, Hayden went on to reveal some truths about the series that fans never knew that may very well upset some part of the community. Hayden went on to actually explain that early on when this was going to be a movie, they originally wanted nothing to do with me coming back for the role of Anakin and or Darth Vader. They didn't really want to risk with anything that happened with the prequels at the time, you know? So they continued writing the movie without any story of Darth Vader on a personal level. The film was originally at times going to focus very little on Vader, but more so with other villains. Regardless, they never wanted me in this. Fast forward to 2021, a lot of things actually happened. When the show's script was moving along in the early stages, they were already set and ready to do key scenes of Vader with his mask off, but they still didn't want me to return still at that time. With all respect to Kathleen Kennedy, she felt it was a bad choice at the time to bring me on board of the Kenobi series. There were times when they were writing out key moments for Vader in the series too. Fast forward a couple of months later than that, Kathleen Kennedy ordered rewrites in order to really revise the show's script. We had so many great scenes in these rewrites that were actually going to involve Vader. Lots of Vader, and I mean a ton of Darth. It actually almost came off like a Vader series. There was that much Vader material being thrown in. However, sadly, this all eventually came to a point where Kathleen Kennedy wrote out all those Vader scenes. She pushed for more rewrites and really wanted to keep Vader's screen time down to a bare minimum, including my face being used in the series was meant to eventually be used down to a bare minimum as well. Now let me just stop right here for a second of what Hayden is saying. This is nothing surprising from Kathleen Kennedy at all. You know, whenever you think about Kathleen Kennedy, you know, everything is about the good stuff being used sparingly. You know, being used very little. And so far, you know, we can see that a lot of the scripts of the movie and the original Kenobi series before the rewrites are actually thrown into the final cut of the actual show that we see on Disney+. Vader is used very, very little in the show. You know, I mean, like, yes, we had a lot of him in Episode 3 going up against Kenobi, and, you know, Episode 4, barely he was in that as well, but at the end of the day, I feel like that if it's being promoted as a show about both Vader and Kenobi and their struggles, you know, of what they're going through, they should really have focused more on them. I feel like that this show is, give or take, like a 50-50 or maybe even a 75-25 situation where Kenobi doesn't really have the best, interest by the creators. We have a moment where it's all focused on Reva and Leia at times, and that goes a little overboard and a little repetitive. Again, Leia already got kidnapped twice in the show, and I just feel that is absolute repetitive writing right there. But moving forward from all of that, alright, Hayden goes on to reveal we also had a ton of flashback scenes that were in the original script that were going to be quite amazing, and just a couple of those made it to the final cut of the show, thankfully. But we just had so much more Vader in the show, and I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that in the other scripts we didn't have Leia's story really, or even Reva's story. They were originally focused on just using Vader, Kenobi, and the Inquisitors strictly. It was originally a constant hunt among the Inquisitors to track down Kenobi from planet to planet. But hey, here we are today. I know some fans have been very unhappy, that some fans are also very mad at certain choices that Joby and Deborah made with the series. All I can ask for fans is to sit back and watch the last remaining 2 episodes, because I think you are all going to love it dearly. We did some pretty amazing stuff in the final 2 that are really going to catch you off guard big time. This is where the fun begins, as Anakin, my character, would say, haha, sit tight. Alright, so one thing I really want to take away from this before we move on is that Hayden is actually kind of teasing something big to happen in the last 2 episodes. Now, we already know this, that both Vader and Kenobi are going to fight again. The only thing that is a mystery is that we're not quite sure how long of a battle it's going to be, and how well it looks as far as cinematography goes. But we do know that it is set to actually happen in episode 6, the final episode. And it also matches up with the poster of the Kenobi series, where they appear to be on a very crate-like planet. It looks very similar to The Last Jedi's crate scene between both Kylo Ren and Luke, unfortunately. So I'm not saying that that planet is Crate. We do know that the Mustafar system is going to be a main focus in episode 5 and episode 6 eventually, so it's very likely to be a planet oriented with that. But moving from this, Hayden really had no boundaries here. He really revealed that the movie and the first script of the Kenobi show and the second script of the series had nothing to really do with Hayden himself coming back as Anakin and or Vader, and how Kathleen Kennedy wanted nothing to do with him for the longest time, and that they actually had so much more Vader in the original stories, and this is at a time where Leia and Reva were not really a thing at all. So you can see that, obviously, when Joby Harold came on board, I think that's when things really became sour. Joby Harold, I feel, doesn't really know what he's doing. He has a lot of problems with the lore, but overall, it is an entertaining series to a degree, and I say this about the sequel trilogy as well. As much as I do not like the sequels, I think it has its moments. Kind of like how Attack of the Clones is considered the worst Star Wars film, as a lot of fans would like to say that. It has its moments, it's got the Count Dooku going up against, Yoda scene on Geonosis. I mean, it's magnificent. So it has its moments like that. So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.